Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk. Sie sehen schon, ich bin jetzt in meinem Hotelzimmer, weil wir sonst wäre das Interview nicht zustande gekommen. Neben mir ist Greg von Carl Data. Wir haben schon mehrere Interviews gemacht. Ich muss dazu sagen, ich habe einen Conflict of Interest. Ich bin Aktionär, bin ein bisschen früh wieder eingestiegen, allerdings ist das normal bei mir. Die Company ist jetzt gerade so eine Art Transformation, oder es schaut so aus, wie wenn sie sich ein bisschen transformieren. Als dieses Hochtechnologie-Segment. Sie waren schon immer Technologie-Company, aber das sollte man jetzt einmal erklären, warum sie diesen Schritt machen. Greg, thank you for your time. I said in my German introduction, I have first a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder.
Thank you.
So, and I buy it a little bit too early. Maybe it's, and now is the question: is this now a buying opportunity or not?
Now is definitely a buying opportunity. I think the stock is very low in comparison to what we have our sights set on, and what's around the corner, and what's in our pipeline moving forward.
Yeah, is a good point. Pipeline and so on. You change a little bit, or it looks like that you change a little bit the business model more to this fintech style of it.
Yeah, not necessarily changing the business model. We'd always wanted to create our back-end template, the core technology, and then use that technology across multiple verticals. So we're in environmental IoT, and from that we're going into mining, oil and gas, lots of different places, in addition to cities and engineering companies that really are our focus, or our core clients right now. FinTech was one of the areas that we had looked at. We've looked at actually a number of opportunities. The rise in cryptocurrency mining, and the way in which they're mined, and the sheer number of cryptocurrencies that are now available led us to look into this, and then eventually create a partnership with a company called Connected FinTech. So what this will allow us to do is get some domain expertise in the area. Basically, their people speaking to our people, our data scientists, regarding how this is done, with the key metrics. We've actually made an investment as well in hardware, so we can start to collect all the data as well. As we collect the data, we develop that domain expertise, just like we do with all the other industries verticals that we're moving into. We should be able to apply our existing core technology to make predictions in this area. Mm-hmm. So it's actually very exciting. There's also other opportunities that are spin-offs from this, which we feel that we could easily turn into products themselves. One of the inherent problems, in fact, we were just discussing it this morning with my staff, is that we have these in environmental data monitoring. There's choke points, mm-hmm. and those choke points are the servers that the data has to go through before it actually reaches our application. Mm-hmm. And so blockchain technology is really good for us in terms of a storage facility. So you can imagine that there is an environmental monitoring sensor blockchain, which is open, is publicly stored, or at least with the companies, the hardware companies, and the end users, could be the cities, form this storage network, and that way you don't have those choke points, and the data is available right away, and it's accurate, and you can't alter it in any way. Mm-hmm. These to our clients that are creating these environmental models is extremely important. So there's and also, in addition to that, there's the idea of the smart contract as well. Mm-hmm. The smart contract, in terms of machine-to-machine transactions, being able to ensure that the letter of the contract is actually followed without having to have people audit these contracts is very important, because we're talking about billions of transactions, mm-hmm. over the course of a contract. And why should one party necessarily have to pay for the entire contract if only 95%, for instance, of the data was actually delivered the way that it was agreed to be. So there's lots of different areas here that we can certainly explore, and we think that there's a lot of uses for our technology, a lot of complementary uses for our technology in the space. So we want to get in, like I said, get some domain expertise in the area, and then begin adding these complementary applications or uses for our technology in the area.
So that was my misunderstanding, that you switch a little bit your business model. It's not that you switch it, you adapt it to this fintech area.
Yes, yeah. So we saw a rising area. We looked at it. We said, can it be complementary to what we're doing? And the answer was absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what we can expect in the future from you? So do you going forward this path and say, okay, there are so many things what we can do, and this is an uprising sector what's really coming up. So what we can expect?
Well, you can expect additional products coming out from us. Probably the first and the easiest for us to incorporate into our existing technology would be the predictive analytics in terms of looking at which currencies to mine, taking into account power, CPO power, and as well as regular raw power, and the price of currencies, etc., and based on history and all sorts of variables. These are things that would be very interesting for our data science group to look at and come up with applications to control. And then, of course, having the hardware on our side, now we have the ability to actually put these things in place and actually test the applications before we spin it out in the form of a product to somebody else. So
that's, for my better understanding, so this means you're working on a kind of robot advisoring for cryptocurrencies, where you say now it's better you mine Dash, or now it's better you Monero, or what, or is
it would be all driven by a machine learning.
Yeah,
all driven by machine learning. So once we have enough data, we have the inputs from the domain experts who understand some of these some of the finer details of things, and we're satisfied that we have an algorithm that can generate a significant amount of incremental revenue in terms of percentage based on the equipment that somebody may have. Then we should be able to have a pretty strong product for the marketplace. A lot of people are just running out and buying these machines like crazy and plugging them in and trying to create as much currency as they possibly can. Our focus will be more on optimization.
Okay. Yeah, it makes absolutely sense. Then sometimes I have the feeling that a lot of people are interested in the space and do something, but they have no really clue about how it really works.
Right. So that's why we're not we didn't raise $10 million and buy a massive farm of these things. Rather, we're doing it slowly and strategically. We want to make sure that we partner with the right people, and that we have the right investment and the right people in place to move us forward.
Sounds interesting. Come back to this. This is all new business, but coming back to your existing business, how is this business running?
It's running very well. We have we're about halfway through our EU grant for Anomaly Detection. Anomaly Detection for us is an extremely important project, because most of the data we collect inherently contains bad data. And so what this program is we collect a lot of different data points, and the end goal of this is we'll build right into our applications sensors, or sorry, not sensors, features that will allow allow the identification of bad data. This will decrease the amount of time it takes for data analysts and engineers, city engineers, to put together a good data set and then be able to run models on it without the fear of the bias in the data affecting the actual model. This is a massive time saver for all our existing clients and future clients in other areas. It's a big project, and as I said, we're halfway through it, and the results are looking very, very good. The other things with regards to our existing business, we're firmly into mining now. We have we'll have a master service agreement with Teck. There's 5 mines in British Columbia that we want to have, hopefully, our flood detection software in for the spring. This is very, very important to Teck. Their focus is on water, and of course, they want to make sure that they have a great warning system to make sure that an environmental event isn't going to wash away their infrastructure, which would be catastrophic. There's also in terms of our pipeline and the technology moving forward, our ability to get into other verticals such as oil and gas and utilities, but of interest as well is we're doing a pilot project right now with a solid waste disposal company. So this is an interesting angle in that we're using our technology to let the company know well in advance exactly when the bins, the solid waste bins, will be full, and this way companies in the solid waste management sector can know exactly when they need to actually pick up and remove these bins. By doing this, they theoretically, we're in the pilot stage of this, but they feel that they should be able to get 2 or 3 more cycles in a very short period of time. This, of course, is very profitable for them moving forward. So. The company that we're working with here locally, there's it's a mid-sized company. There's literally thousands of these companies across North America. So, subject to a successful pilot, we have our hands full with that one. It's a very profitable vertical for us. It'll be extremely profitable.
So, in other words, you are busy.
We're very busy. We're very busy. We have lots of projects on the go. What allows us to be busy and have all these seemingly very different projects on the go, once again, is this core technology that we built several years ago, and we built it to allow us to collect all types of data from all different industries, and then our data science group doesn't really care, where the information comes from, where the data comes from. They just need to be brought up to speed and provided some domain expertise on exactly what the key outputs actually for the data actually are, and then that allows us to build these things right into our applications. And so we're very nimble in terms of what we're able to get into. Hence why we made the decision to get into the fintech area.
Great. I think it was an interesting update. A lot of things is changing since the last time. Not changing, developed.
Growing.
I must say, growing. And it's good when you're busy, then I'm shareholder. Hopefully when you're busy, it works out that you have a high revenue and all the stuff is positive for the stock. Ja, das war ein Update von Carl Data Solution. War jetzt eigentlich sehr viele Informationen, vor allem deswegen auch, weil sie in den Bereich von Fintechs einsteigen. Für mich war das eher man will diesen Zug nicht verpassen und man spielt da ein bisschen mit. Allerdings, das, was er machen will, macht absolut Sinn. Und zwar, sie sind spezialisiert auf Datenanalyse. Und er hat es ja selber gesagt, ihm ist egal, woher die Daten kommen, Hauptsache, sie haben Daten, die sie analysieren können, und da sind sie darauf spezialisiert. Einer normalen Daten, die sie eben gehabt haben, war zum Beispiel für Städte, wo sie einfach sagen können, wie schaut jetzt aus, wo geht zum Beispiel ein Kanal über, wo geht nicht ein Kanal über, wie schaut es mit dem Wasser aus, woher kommt das Ganze, müssen wir Überschwemmungen erwarten oder sonst irgendwas. Selber machen sie, es war neu für mich, für die Minenindustrie. Da haben sie jetzt eine Partnerschaft mit Tech, ich meine, Tech ist ja nicht unbekannt, wo sie eben genau dasselbe machen, wo sie sagen, wie problematisch ist das für Tech? Gibt es dort irgendwelche Überschwemmungen? Könnte das problematisch sein für Ihre Mine selber, dass Sie irgendwelche Vorkehrungen treffen können? Das heißt, Sie haben viel, viel mehr Zeit, das dementsprechend zu bearbeiten. Und Fintech ist nichts anderes sozusagen, Sie sagen selber, es sind halt viele Daten, die da sind. Zum Beispiel ist es halt wichtig, wie so eine Minenfarm für Cryptocurrency, dass die halt einfach auch das richtige richtige Currency auch bearbeitet. Und das kann sie nur dann, wenn sie halt eigentlich die richtigen Daten hat und sagt, was ist jetzt am effizientesten. Zu jenes Sache zu minen oder sollen sie eher umstellen auf andere Currency, und das kann dieses System, weil viele sagen, und das hat halt einfach auch, und das stimmt, weil die kaufen sich halt einfach diese Geräte zusammen, lassen das einfach laufen und hoffen, dass das einfach das Beste ist, und das ist es nicht, weil es gibt Zeitpunkte, wo es jetzt einfach sinnvoll ist, dass man diese Currency meint, und dann 6 Stunden später oder 12 Stunden später oder 2 Tage später ist es halt besser, man meint irgendwas anderes. Aber für einen ist das eigentlich total egal, weil Hauptsache sie haben Daten, die sie analysieren können und dann weiterbringen. Ein großer Punkt, wo er sagt, da arbeiten sehr stark dran, ist diese Fehldaten. Es gibt viele Datenströme, die da sind, wo aber teilweise Fehldaten sind, und da setzen sie auch teilweise auf Machine Learning, also auf künstliche Intelligenz. Systeme, die das dann dementsprechend adaptieren, damit man diese Fehler schnell erkennt und diese Fehler auch schneller korrigiert. Dadurch ist sie ein sehr hoher Einsparungsbedarf. Sie sind sehr geschäftlich unterwegs, sind auf verschiedenen Sektoren tätig mittlerweile und dadurch auch richtig stressig. Verstehe ich bin auch im Stress, nächstes Interview wartet auch schon wieder bei mir. Das war von Carl Data Update Jänner 2018. Tschüss und Baba.
Thank you. Thanks.